Ben, can you describe the atmosphere and the discussions that took place in the lead up to the drafting of the Declaration of Independence? What was the general sentiment among the delegates?
That's a memory full of both pride and pain. The birth of the Declaration was no easy task. For instance, discussing the list of complaints against King George III stirred up quite a storm. John Dickinson, a respectable man from Pennsylvania, pushed for a softer tone to avoid insulting the king too directly. But fiery folks like young Thomas Jefferson and the Adamses insisted we voice our complaints with all our might. The distribution of power between the states and the yet-to-be-formed central government was another point of contention. Delegates like Richard Henry Lee from Virginia were cautious about giving too much power to a central authority, having just overthrown one remote power. Others, including Alexander Hamilton, saw the need for a strong national government. The sparks that flew between those two could have lit up all of Philadelphia. And then there was the troubling question of slavery. While some of us, like Caesar Rodney and myself, saw it as a serious wrong, there were others from the southern colonies who couldn't imagine a world without it. That debate was a wound that couldn't be healed, not even by the wise words of our Declaration. That sweltering summer, we didn't find a perfect solution to every issue, nor did we expect to. It was the spirit of compromise, understanding that a nation can't be built on absolutes, that got us through. We were not just architects or drafters, we were masons, building a nation out of the rough blocks of diverse colonies. We chiseled and shaped until we formed the structure of freedom and independence that has stood the test of time. Here's a lesson for you and your listeners. Perfection doesn't come with the first draft or even the second, but with the willingness to engage, debate, and strive for a better future.
In retrospect, do you think the ideals expressed in the Declaration were fully realized in the years that followed? Where do you think you have succeeded, and where have you fallen short?
Let's think of our Declaration like launching a new product. We had the vision and the roadmap, but the journey, well, that was an entirely different story. We planted the seeds of lofty ideals, equality, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They were our North Star guiding our fledgling nation. But did we fully understand the vast implications of these principles? I'd be lying if I said we did. Take, for example, the noble statement, "All men are created equal." Yet the shadow of slavery loomed over our newborn republic. This, I must admit, was a failure on our part. We also wrestled with the distribution of power. Even as we rejected a far-off monarch, we struggled with how much authority should reside with a central government, and how much with individual states. This debate, far from being settled in my time, has continued to shape the centuries that followed. But, Booty, I must emphasize that our great experiment wasn't without victories. The spirit of freedom, the belief in people's right to govern themselves, has remained steadfast. We may have stumbled, but each fall only strengthened our resolve to stand taller. In the end, buddy, the journey toward these ideals is a long road. There will always be twists and bumps, and at times it may feel like we've lost our way. But the pursuit is what matters. It's our duty, as it was mine, to always strive toward those guiding stars, no matter how distant they may seem, because it's not the destination, but the journey that truly defines our nation's greatness.